ADHD brains are not broken. Give me 1 minute, I'll teach you why ADHD brains are just simply different. In medicine, we can measure the activity of different chemical substances in different areas of the brain. In our brain, we have a reward center. This reward center responds to dopamine. In people with ADHD, they measure how the brain in that area reacts to dopamine. What do we find? Fewer dopamine markers, fewer dopamine transporters. What does that mean? Less of the signal that tells your brain, this is important, keep going. Next slide, what does it tell you? It tells you that dopamine is the price of effort. What does that mean? Over here, we can see that we have the mesolimbic pathway, which connects the midbrain to the limbic system, and we have the mesocortical pathway that links the midbrain to the cortex or prefrontal cortex. In these areas, dopamine encodes the value of the work you're doing. Meaning, if we run the dopamine short in these areas by not making enough or not having enough receptors, what does that mean? It means that starting in and of itself feels very difficult. Next slide tells you a reward later barely counts. What does that mean? Exactly what it says. People with ADHD struggle to maintain attention and focus on tasks where their reward is not like now, not in 1 minute. Something like math where they're like, oh, done. You got the right question. They know they're getting the answer. They know they're gonna get it soon. They know they're gonna get that feeling of, oh, it feels so good. Because the dopamine in their brain is too little or there's not enough binding receptors and they don't get that sense of achievement. Next slide can explain to us why some people with ADHD tend to be very successful. You see, with ADHD, attention is state dependent. They will pay attention only when they are motivated. And what chemical ties in with motivation? The next slide basically tells you that a person with ADHD is understimulated by default. What does that mean? It means their brains are less stimulated. So what we describe as vigilance in them is less. How can we push it back up to normal or even further? Stimulating it. What's one of the ways that we treat ADHD? Stimulant medications. What's another way that helped in research papers? Noise. Noise levels increased arousal levels in kids with ADHD in this research paper, and it actually improved memory in individuals with ADHD, though not in everybody else. The next slide is about the temporal motivation theory. This slide kind of like pulls the stuff I said together and puts it into one formula, and we can utilize that one formula to help individuals with ADHD achieve what they want to achieve. So if we look here, it says that expectancy multiplied by value divided by impulsiveness multiplied by delay is equal to motivation. And so in ADHD, expectancy and value are decreased. They have low expectancy of themselves to achieve something because they've messed up a lot of things in the past, for example. Also, the value is decreased because remember, I told you in slide number 2, dopamine in the two areas, PFC and the mesolimbic pathway, is decreased. And also, because individuals with ADHD struggle with delayed gratification, there's an increase in delay, and they also have an increase in impulsivity. So the bottom half of the equation increases and the top half of the equation decreases. And that explains the decreased motivation. What can we do? Follow me for more. I'm Mohamed Shembesh. I'm a final year medical student. I've done my master's work on ADHD, and I've also built a website for individuals with ADHD to help them reach their goals, become more efficient, and learn well. Peace.